Hello everyone, so welcome back. We're carrying on with the work from yesterday with our maths, okay, or the day before, depending on when you did it. So today's date, it should be, I think, the 23rd of the 4th, 2020. It doesn't matter if it isn't, if you do it in a different day, no problem. But can you write today's date, please, and the learning objective to find the exterior angle of a triangle. So do that in your books, please. We will need our textbook, page 81 and 82. So short date, learn objective, please. Pause the video. When you've done that, we will carry on with the lesson. Okay. Right, to start off, before we go finding the angles, just a quick reminder, please, about equilateral and isosceles triangles. Now, equilateral triangles, as the name suggests, everything is equal, okay? So that means all the sides will be the same and all the angles are the same. So all sides plus all angles are the same, okay? And actually we can work at the angles there because we know that the internal angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, and because each angle is exactly the same, we can divide that by 3. So 180 divided by 3 gives us 60 degrees. So each angle is 60, 120, 180, isn't it? So 60, 60, 60 will all add up to 180. So that's an equilateral triangle. Now with an isosceles, with the equilateral triangle, remember these lines tell us the sides are the same. We certainly did a little bit of that when we did quadrilaterals. So these lines tell us that the sides are the same. So with an isosceles, again, these two sides are the same because these lines tell us that the lines coming through the sides tell us they're the same, and that means the corresponding angles are also the same. The corresponding angles are the same. So these two are the same. So as long as we've got this angle here, we can work out what these angles are. So with an isosceles, you have two sides plus two angles are the same. Okay, the same. Now this is your traditional kind of witch's hat type isosceles, but you do also get isosceles triangles that are quite flat. Okay, let's just do a quite quick rough version of one. So they can also be sort of flatter like that. Okay, so about that, where these two angles are the same sides of these two. So this is the same thing, but we normally see the pointy hat ones. So in your books, please, can you write down equilateral, draw it, and just write down the definition, please. Same with isosceles, draw it, write down the definition, and then we'll move on to the next part of the lesson. So pause the video, please. Pause the video, and we'll move on. Okay, we'll copy that in. We'll move on to the next part. All right, pause it. Right, so we're going to start off by finding the exterior angle of a triangle. So I'll just draw one. I won't be drawing all my triangles with a ruler because it can be a bit time consuming. So if I do that, I'll try and get across there. Okay, so here we have, so say for example, if this angle here is 70 degrees, okay, now from there, okay, I can work out what this angle here, angle A, is here, what this angle is, okay. If I draw that a bit big, what this angle here is, angle A. And I can do that even without knowing these. I can do that because what we have got here is a straight line. So this is a straight line, and we know angles on a straight line is at 180 degrees. Now, people tend to struggle on this question until we rub out these parts, and we can see from there all we've got is a straight line. This is 70. We know that angles on a straight line add up to 180, so it'd be 180 take away 70 will give us 110. So this angle here is 110 degrees. Okay, and if we wanted to carry that on there, We can, okay, but its angles on a straight line 180 degrees. Okay, right, so we've got another one here. So we can do a triangle where we can have that like that, there, and then we'll join them up best I can, like that. So again, if I know this angle here, so say for example this is 130 degrees, I can work out what this angle here, angle A, is. I don't need to know these other angles, because again I can see that this is a straight line going across. Angles on a straight line are 180 degrees, so our angle A would be 50 degrees, okay, because it would be 180 minus 130, 50 degrees, okay. And again, just to show that that is, if I was to rub those out, again, you wouldn't have any problem if it was like that, but when those angles are kind of added in, sometimes it can be a bit confusing. What I'd like you to do, please, in your books, could you have a go at these first two questions? You're just finding the missing angle. So call it question 1. Okay. Question 1, work out angle A and work out angle B. So it would be question number 1, A equals, B equals in your books. You do not need to draw the triangles. Okay. So pause the video, have a go at those, then we'll carry on with the lesson. Right, okay, good. So hopefully the answers we should have is, this is a straight line. Angles on a straight line equal 180 degrees. So we do 180, take away 50, 130 degrees. So angle A, 130 degrees. Now the same with this one. It's just a straight line, and this is 147. So we can find out angle B. So we do 180 minus 147. A bit tricky to calculate this because we need some borrowing. 7, so we're going to 3. 7 take away 4 is 3, 0. So we've got 33 degrees for B. 33 degrees. Okay, just make sure you do those calculations. If you do it in your head, that's fine as long as you get it right. Okay. Right, so there's question 1 done for you. So we'll move on from those. And we'll just go into questions a little bit trickier, but again, I don't think we'll have too much difficulty with. Okay, so let's go from there. So, if we're given a question like this, we need to find out this angle here. We'll call this angle A. If this angle here is 35 degrees, this angle here is 75 degrees. Can we find out angle A? Okay. This is can we find out angle A? Have a little think about that for a second. Have a little, how can we find out this angle when we've only got these two? Okay, pause the video if you want to try and work that out for yourself. Let's have a little look, because what we need to do in order to find out this angle, we have to work out this missing angle here, this missing angle, and we can do that again because we've got our triangle. We know all the angles add up to 180 degrees. So we can do 75 and 35 gives me 110. Now from there, I can do 110 minus 70. Sorry, 180, because all the angles in the triangle add up to 180. We get a minus 110, and that gives us 70. So this tells us this angle here is 70 degrees. Angles on a straight line equal 180, so we know we're going to do 180 minus 70 will give us 110. So we know angle A is equal to 110 degrees. And actually what you will notice is when we add these two angles up, it actually does give us that angle as well. Okay, but sometimes it's useful just to fill those in anyway. All right, okay. Let's try another one. Let's have a look at another one. So with the numbers maybe a little bit trickier. So we'll go here, there. It's not too bad. So again, if this angle here is 41, this angle here is 27 degrees. In order to find out angle A here, we want to find this angle first, don't we? Okay, so we're going to do, we know that these three angles add up to 180, so we're going to do 41 plus 27 first of all, which will give us 68. Then we're going to do 180, take away that, okay, and that will give us, again, let's just borrow 112. Just checking my head if that's right. No, hang on. It's not going to be right. Okay, 112. Let's just check that one. It's 112 and 68. Okay, oh no, that is correct, sorry. So this angle here is going to be 112 degrees. And then angles on a straight line means this one again is going to be 68 degrees, isn't it? 68. Okay, so we find out the missing angle, and from there we can work out angles on a straight line. Okay, you can't yet remember they might come in different sort of shapes and sizes. So I know that in the next set of questions we're going to do one is a bit like this. Okay, but the same rules apply. Okay, if I want to find this angle here, okay, that might be that's 90 degrees, and that would be 30 degrees, so I can still work out that this one is 60 degrees and going from there, yes, with this upside down. Don't worry too much about that. Let's have a little go at, let's go at the next set of questions, please. Okay, so here, if you can find, put in your books question 2 and just find angle A, B, C and D. Okay, so if you can pause the video and have a go at these. So in your books, just put A equals B equals and so on. Okay, off we go. Good. Right, okay. Last little bit before we go on to do some more independent work is let's just go back to our equilateral triangles. Equilateral triangles, and again, so say for example, I'm just drawing this quickly by hand. This tells us here's an equilateral triangle. So obviously I can work out what that angle is there. All the angles are the same. So this angle is going to be 60 degrees, isn't it? Okay, easy on an equilateral triangle. Let's think on let's just work out how we can find out the missing angle on an isosceles. This one is a little bit trickier, but again, I know it's something we should be able to do with a little bit of practice. So these lines here tell me that these two sides are the same, which means this angle and this angle is the same. Okay, I'll just extend that out there as well. Now, if this angle here is, let's call that this angle 80 degrees. Okay, this angle is 80 degrees. I can now work out what each of these angles are, because I know that when I add them it becomes to 180, and these two angles are the same. These two angles are the same. So I'm going to do 180 minus 80 means it's 100 degrees. So this angle and this angle, when added together, are 100. Now I know they're exactly the same, so I'm going to divide them by 2. I'm going to halve it. So I know that each angle here is 50 degrees. Is 50 degrees. And let's just check. 50 and 50 is 100 and 80 is 180. So if I've got this top one, I just take it away from 180 and then halve the answer, and then I know what I've got here. So from that I can work out my missing angle here, A. Okay, so angles on a straight line is 180, so it's 180 minus 50. This one's 130. Okay, so here's the work I'd like you to do today. Okay, well done everyone. Here's the work I'd like you to do today. So in your books, could you do question 9 on page 181. Split it into 2 questions because there are 2 ones there. So call the first one I, and then the other one II, or yeah, part 1, part 2, and then turn over the page, do the 2 questions, question 9 on page 82 as well. Then I've got some extend questions here. I'd like us to all have a go at these. All have a go at these. The last one is a bit tricky, but again, if we can work out the missing values, then we should be okay. I don't mind you drawing these, but you don't have to draw them. Same with those, you don't need to draw them into your book. I will also post, if you want to do some quite tricky extension questions, it's purely optional, but on the portal there will be an extra section if you want to have a go yourselves, okay, if you want something a little bit more challenging. All right, good luck with that, everyone. Okay, cheers, bye-bye.